Okay, I call the meeting to order, the special meeting of City Council, May 23rd, 2023. And meeting is being conducted electronically tonight. Let me just erase this from my screen. All 5 council are present. First order of business is public hearing. Let me get a mallet here. I call the public hearing to order to amend the fiscal year 2023 budget. Mike, did you receive any correspondence?
I did not, but we do have one member of the public attending tonight, Pat Yegi.
Thank you. Anyone from the public want to speak tonight? Okay. Find my mallet. Close the public hearing. Okay, so now we'll talk about resolution 2317, amending the fiscal year 2023 budget. Steve Cool is going to talk about that tonight.
Yep.
Welcome,
okay.
Steve.
All right. I'm just gonna pretty much summarize everything. We had a full discussion at the April 25th meeting on the proposed changes that we wanted to make to the original budget. This was the actual publication that went out. It was published around May 11th or 13th, somewhere in there. So anyway, we made just 3 changes to the amounts from our discussion back in April. One of them was Mike brought up that the city got a $29,000 building permit in April, so we raised that revenue amount up. And then also when I was going back through the bond records for the bond sales and the projects and everything, we found out that the bond attorney hasn't billed $15,000 yet for their fees. So those were the 2 big items. And then I had a small item, small change, and I think it was traffic light electricity. So anyway, on the public hearing publication there, let's see, the left column with the numbers, that was the original budget. We were projecting a surplus of a little over $31,000 for the year. Current amendments, I'm not going to go over those in detail, but just to refresh everybody on the major changes. Let's see here, this would be line 6 on the form. Other city taxes, that was increased $170,000. That's the increase in the hotel motel tax money. We budgeted real low, 210,000, and we're expecting about 380,000. Let's see here, licenses and permits up 33,900. That was mostly the $29,000 payment that we received in April. Let's see, miscellaneous revenues increased 42,000. The bulk of that is the expected billings for additional police services during the year. We've collected some of that, and we'll probably collect around 42,000. So line 15, the total increase in the revenues and other sources, which includes transfers, 397,000. If we take the transfers out, we're increasing revenues about 240,000. The expenses, the biggest one is line 23, and that is capital projects. Each year we just budget the wish list of possible projects that could be started. We reduced that by a little over $1 million down to $40,000. All of the projects that were in that original budget number were delayed until fiscal 24. They are in the fiscal 24 budget. So the $40,000 is expected. Some of the preliminary engineering fees on the Melrose project coming up. We had a few other bigger changes. Let's see, culture and recreation, we decreased $100,000. In the original budget, we spending the hotel motel tax money in full, which that really doesn't happen. We do have various expenditures that we're covering for that, mostly bond debt, and then also the $20,000 CVB fee. So that's just a reduction in the amount that we're not going to spend and basically carry over to next year. Debt service increased 107,000. When we did the original budget, we had not sold the 2022 bonds that were sold last July. And so we need to increase that for the principal and interest and fee payments that are being made this year. That increase in the debt service is fully funded by hotel motel tax money. Excuse me. We had a few other things, nothing really out of the ordinary. Police wages we increased. We put a nominal amount in for overtime on the original budget. Most of that adjustment on line 16 for public safety is to get the expected payroll up, which includes all of the wages paid for the additional services that we're adding back into the revenue. So the other thing, we added the American Rescue Plan, the ARPA expenditures. We've approved $80,000 of grant money, and the fee is 4,000 something. So we've put that full amount in, and then we had some miscellaneous increases and decreases. So the net change is $1,182,000. Like I said, that big increase is just the delay of mostly the capital projects till next fiscal year. In the right-hand column, down on line 29, we're looking at a surplus somewhere around $1.2 million, a little over that. And like I said, it's mostly the bond money that we're holding, and also hotel motel tax money that hasn't been spent but will be sometime the next short year or two. So that was pretty much everything I wanted to cover.
Any questions for Steve? Okay, did you want to add anything, Bobby?
No, I think that's pretty well covers
I
it.
do too. I do too. So resolution 2317 is before the council. Is there a motion?
I'll motion.
Motion by Steph. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Lisa. Discussion. Roll call vote.
John,
Aye.
Moore,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Swales. Doug says yes. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go on to the public hearing to consider the 23 Monroe Street Improvements Project. Call the public meeting to order about 7:10. Mike, did you receive any correspondence about this project?
I did not.
Okay, would anyone from the public like to speak about this project? Okay, hearing none, I close the public hearing. And then, Ryan, you're gonna talk about resolution 2318 and the plans. A little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So just kind of outlined in a little report here for you guys again. So we have a requirement based off a little bit larger project size and estimated costs to do a public bid process. So that's why we require these public hearings. Sent out a notice for this a couple weeks ago in the paper. and then we'll do a public bid and have a bid opening at our office for this project. We'll receive the bids on June 22nd and plan to award it at a special council meeting on June 27th. So the work, yeah, I guess if Mike can show that up there. Sorry,
Do you want this one, Ryan, or do you want the?
maybe the plans up 2 more pages.
Sure.
The first sheet there, yeah. So this one here just gives a kind of an overview of the concrete work. So kind of after some discussions with the budget, we expanded the scope of this a little bit to make sure we don't have to come back to Monroe Street for quite a while after this summer. So right now, the existing condition out there is that there's several cracked and settled concrete panels, and there's clearly some voids under the roadway, and reports of water and some soil migration coming up through the joints during rain events. So what we're doing is we're going to I found some old plans from 1980, and there is an existing subdrain out there, but there's probably not a rock base under the roadway. So we're going to upsize that subdrain on the east side of the road. So it'd be the top of the page there, and replace it all the way down to the intake at the intersection on Oak Crest. And that way we'll just make sure that subdrain's open and flowing, and we'll get some cutoff walls. We're going to put in 2 cutoff walls underneath the roadway panels, which is kind of those two lines you're seeing crossing the roadway, right in front of 306 and 317 Monroe Street. So that should help with that soil migration, and those will also have subdrains crossing the street to get the water out from underneath the roadway in the future. So yeah, Mike, I guess if you go to that next sheet, it's just kind of showing the full extent of that subdrain work all the way down to so we'll come down on the east side all the way to the Oak Crest intersection and tie into a storm intake there. And that's just the same route that the existing 4-inch subdrain is there, but we're planning to install an 8-inch subdrain for added capacity there as well. So, and on the west side of the roadway, there's an existing 6-inch up to 317 Monroe Street. So we're just going to extend that. We're going to tie onto that and extend it north up the hill. Thanks. Thank you. Extend that north up the hill to the end of where the new pavement's going to be. So right in between 217 and 307 Monroe Street. And then, Mike, if you want to go to that last sheet, is the cost opinion. Yeah. Sorry, the one just above.
With that one. Yep.
This one here. Yep. So the cost opinion's just under $150,000 right now for this project. So.
Any questions?
If there's
for
any
Ryan?
specific questions on anything, yeah, that I could answer for you.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. And thanks for sending a report out to review it
Yeah.
earlier. Consideration of 2318 is before the council. Approving and confirming plans, specs, forms of contract, estimate of cost for 2023 Monroe Street Improvements Project. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Doug. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tim. Discussion.
Do we
Roll
know
call
how-
vote.
Do we know
Okay,
how
go
long the timeline is on this, Ryan? Do they have a rough idea?
So,
Start to finish.
yeah, so I guess, until we have a contractor on board, I won't know what a contractor's actually thinking for the timeline, but right now I'm estimating that it won't take probably longer than a month to complete the work, really. We've got I've got it set up that they need to be substantially complete by September 29th. So that is going to push a little bit into football season. Part of the reasons that is we won't award this contract till the end of June. So it's a little bit more difficult, to force them to finish within 30 days of awarding a contract, because we still need to execute the contract. So get signatures done,
I
and
assume
get things
folks will be-
started.
folks will be able to get in and out all right, because I know I'm gonna get asked.
Yeah, so we will probably lose access to the driveways, especially with the subdrain work. They're gonna have to excavate across the driveways. What we're gonna do is we're gonna break it into two sections, sort of the bottom half of the hill and then the top half of the hill, to sort of minimize how long that, folks are out of their driveways. So it should only be, let me see, it'd be like three driveways at a time type of thing, which will make the distance that you'd have to park away from your residence a lot shorter, And we would put notes in there that they need to be able to get access within 10 days of that closure. So,
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Louise.
No problem. Any other questions? So let's see, you did the motion, we did the second. And so are we ready for a roll call vote? I think we are.
Yes.
Roll call vote.
Moore,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Swales,
Aye.
Gone.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Very good. Any announcements? I do want to
Mike-
say the bike breakfast. Are you going to talk about that, Mike?
Nope, you can.
Bike breakfast is tomorrow morning, 7 to 9. Mike will be there, police will be there. I think Steph will be there, Lisa will be there. Anybody else can be there.
Maybe
You know?
I'll bring my whole crew, so maybe hopefully they have enough
Okay.
food.
Do,
Good.
do.
Yeah, Jeff's Bike and Ski is, going back to the pre-COVID with the bagel, salmon, cream cheese, awesome.
Ooh,
So
yum.
come on, everything's free. Come on over. Pedestrians are welcome. Bicycles, of course. So from 7 to 9 in the morning. And so, and it's going to be a beautiful day. So there you go. No excuses. I think we're good. With any other announcements? Is there any objection to adjournment? Hearing none, the meeting's adjourned by unanimous consent. Thanks, everyone, for your time tonight.